Okay, so today is day 7 of the challenge, and these are the two trades that I took. So not this one, but I took this one here, which ended up being a break even. I know it looks like it's basically still running, and I do think that this will get to TP. But I'll explain why I got a break even here. And then this, I had a loss on this, which obviously in hindsight is quite annoying because we can see this looks like a stop. This looks like a what's it called? A liquidity spike or stop hunt, and then literally in the next like 4 candlesticks, it shoots straight up to TP. Got the metrics here. So today is the 9th of December, and these are the two trades here. So I'm just gonna go through them, and then you can see the same thing here on FTMO. So the very first one that I took yesterday, which I'm still having problems with my alerts, but I'm keeping an eye on the charts now. So I got in. So I don't know if I spoke about this yesterday. I don't think so. But I got in and I didn't get the alert here. I just checked and then the chart was up here. Now, one thing that I'm going to be doing, which I did on USD Chef, which gave me a much better position, is instead of okay, like hopefully I don't keep on having a problem with the alerts, but let's say I missed the alert, right? Because for example, I should have got the alert here, which when this one opens, I'm basically getting in, and I probably would have got my alert somewhere here, which really helps with the risk to reward. So instead of having a 1 to 4, it would have been a 1 to 2 plus a little bit of change. What I'll do is instead of like chasing it, I will just oh wait, is that the right one? No, sorry. Which one do I need to get rid of? This one. Yeah. So instead of chasing it up here and kind of messing up my risk to reward, I'm just gonna set a limit order. So if I'm going for buys, I'll go for a buy limit, and if I'm going for sells, then I'll go for a sell limit. Just because even with back testing, I've noticed that 9 times out of 10, it has a retracement anyway, right? So if I just had my buy limit here, or even at the blue line, because it normally does come back. Let me put out the blue line, and then here. I mean, it just gives me much better risk to reward, way better. Um, so yeah. I mean, this one was yeah. So what happened here? So I entered. It was in drawdown for a while. I ended up going to bed. And then it's funny because when I woke up, I didn't even get the alert for the SL or the stop loss, and I didn't put my phone on sleep mode or anything like that. But I didn't get no alerts for it hitting stop loss or TP. But I did get an alert from MetaTrader 5, MT5, and it was two alerts, right? So the one that was on top, the one that I saw was I saw that position has been closed. And then actually no, I did get the alert with Trading View, but the Trading View one said that I hit the TP because I had a TP alert here. So I thought, oh, it hit TP, and I was like super happy. And I check MetaTrader, and I look at my account, it's gone down by 1%. I'm like, what? And then I check the actual chart, and I seen that right before I went to TP, it wigs me out. Guys, I'll be honest. I know some people might be super huge on psychology, but my little two cents on this, even though I lost the trade, is I'm very happy with this trade. Even though it was a loss, I followed the rules. I didn't do anything wrong here. Absolutely nothing wrong. At least I know of right now. I followed my rules. It just happened to stop me out, right? It looks like a stop hunt. Looks like a little liquidity grab, whatever you want to call it. But I did everything right. Sometimes this will happen, other times it won't happen, right? But it is what it is, right? So that one ended up being a 1% loss. Now, the only mistake that I have made with this, and this is something I'm going to adjust moving forward, is when it's moving really fast, and this is why I don't want to be chasing it, because when you're chasing it, you mess up your lot size as well. So when this was happening, so I actually got in on this. Yeah. So it was moving quite fast like this. It was like going like that. And I was trying to get the right lot size for, by the way, every trade that I do, the maximum I'm supposed to be losing is 700. But because it's like fluctuating like that, I calculate 700, then I put it in, and then by the time I enter, it's gone up by a couple pips and it's messed up the lot, right? So this one, it fluctuated quite a lot, and I ended up losing, how much is it? I ended up losing like, yeah, so 900, so 230 more than I was supposed to be risking. So I just need to be careful with that, and I'm probably going to be entering with limit orders because it just gives me a way better entry. So anyway, moving on to the next one. So, this one was a very, very good one. I really like this. You can see I still feel like this will hit TP if anyone's still in this. I think someone said that there was in it in Telegram. But yeah, so oh, I probably should go through this. I'm pretty sure. Okay, just in case no one really knows the strategy that I use. So CCT, right? So this was a very, very clean setup. It broke out. So we are on Tuesday. Hold on a minute. Sorry. That confused me because I was thinking why that. So I entered yesterday, right? So we're not looking at. Let's go here. So that's where it was, right? So price broke out from this range, which is what we look for. And then the next day, which is going to be the one I'm going to show, we're just waiting for it to tap into it and then break out on the 15-minute, right? So have our alert there. And then what we're waiting for is this, waiting for it to go below the daily level on the 15-minute. Come on. Gee, just take forever. Okay, yeah, so it goes below. Oh, stop. Yeah, so it goes below here. And then from here, we're just tracking each candlestick range, right? So, so before we had this one, what I was tracking was this, right? And then we see it broke out here, so that's why we move it to this one here. And then we're just waiting for it to break out above the blue line, the daily level, and we're waiting for it to break out above this range, which is the gray box. That's it, right? And then once it breaks out here, you should be entering here, right? Then if you kind of miss it, what I'm going to be doing now is just setting a buy limit. And then your stop loss goes below here, and then your TP goes to here, which is the liquidity spot, right? So now on to the next one. Let me exit, leave. Okay, so I had so let me just mark this up for anyone that is wondering about this. So yesterday, select bar, new. This was a very, very, very nice setup. Yesterday we caught a winner on this, so it just pushed up yesterday. So it broke above the zone, which is here. That's all I was really looking for. And then once again, we were just waiting for it to tap back into the zone, which is below this blue line on the 15-minute. And then we enter, right? Now that I'm looking at it again, technically, you know, you could have had this line as well. And then that is really it, right? So you go down to the 15-minute and select the new day on Tuesday starts here. So waiting for it to break below, so break and close below one of the blue lines. So it does it there, which if I remember, I didn't get an alert for it, but so now we're just tracking the zone. So as soon as it gets into that zone, so the blue line here, we're just tracking these ranges here, right? So we need to break above this range because technically it's already above the blue line, so we're just waiting for one thing here. But then as we can see, it doesn't happen, it ends up going down. Okay, so now this is interesting. Because I did not get the alert, I actually got saved from a loss. Because honestly, if I had entered here, which to be honest, to my knowledge, you wouldn't have really done anything wrong, but entry would have been something like this. Let's give it 2 pips. So, like there, and then you got your TP here. It would have been a loss because it ends up going deeper. So here, does that hit it? Yeah. So yeah, you get pinned out here, and then so that's a loss, right? And in my opinion, if you took that trade, I don't think you did anything wrong. I don't think that would have been a because you followed the rules there. But then it comes down for the second time, and then me after 2 trades, I don't trade again in a week. Whether that's in the day, whether that's 2 wins, 2 break evens, or even 2 losses. Especially with 2 losses, I don't trade after that. So what I did was, because I saw it here, no, where was it? I saw it like on this red candle when it was like pushing up, it was all green, and I didn't want to chase it all the way up here, which would have messed up my it would have took away 1% from the win. So what I did was, I put the buy limit, which is how I entered, and this is how I got the good risk to reward. Looking back, I even could have got a better one if I put it. Let me show you. Put out the blue line, which is there. That gives me a 1 to 4, right? Just moving forward, this is how I'm going to be entering. But yeah, that's the entry that I had, and it pretty much went really well. It started pushing up, and then what I did was, because I had already lost 930 on that first one, to be honest, even if I didn't lose that, I still would have done this. And then because it failed here as well, what I was thinking was, once it creates structure like here, where it goes like this, it creates a higher high, breaks above this high, higher low, and then breaks and closes here, which it did eventually. I said I'm just going to put my stop loss in profit below this structure here. So it breaks above. So what I did was, I put it like somewhere here, and then eventually it had one candlestick where it just came like down. So it was literally on this candlestick where I got taken out for break even. Now of course, in hindsight, I could have just put it here at 0 or like £20 or whatever it is in profit, because it looks like it ended up pushing up, and then to be honest, it got so close here. What is that? What's that? That's a 1 to 3.4. That would have been a good place to take profit, but that's where we're aiming, right? We're aiming for like that spot here. So definitely, if it had gotten there, I definitely would have had my TP. My stop loss. I think I probably would have got taken out for break even as well, because I would have had the break even there, and I think it gets there anywhere. I did see, so you would have break even. So I did see Cramson was talking about in his Telegram, and it's something I agree on, is not being too married to the TP, because sometimes price, especially if it's like a choppy week in the market or whatever, sometimes price would just get really close to your TP and then just reverse and then go all the way around, and then you were so close to having your TP, because like here, our original TP is 3.8, and then it gets up to 3.4, which you shouldn't be angry about taking that. But yeah, and then also I am well aware that sometimes price will sometimes just go up to 50% and then retrace, or then make the reversal, which to be honest was that place where I ended up moving my stop loss. So I don't kick myself over stuff like this, just because the factors that have gone into it, right? So you already took a loss, and it had already if I'd entered earlier, I would have been a loss again. So it hasn't been that strong, and I don't mind taking a break even for a couple £100 profit or whatever is the profit, because if in hindsight you could say, oh, just leave it how it is, because you know it can just reverse, so then now you have two losses instead of one. So that's just my mindset on it. I don't kick myself over it. It is what it is, and setups like this are going to happen basically every day, if not every other day. So it's fine if I get taken out for break even on this. There's going to be setups tomorrow, and there's going to be more setups the day after that, and more setups the next week. That's just my mentality, right? Because when you see this, what you start doing? You start revenge trading. You start over trading because, oh, I would have had this profit, so let me just jump back in, and then boom, it goes all the way down, right? So those are my two trades. This is what I was watching for today. We can see JPY never really got to. Let's see. JPY. Actually, this is basically live analyst, right? So this is me just looking at it here because I was mainly looking at these two. JPY. So we got the weekly, we got the daily. It never got to. Okay, so this is interesting. So I messed up again. So technically, this was a level, and I can see that that's where price reversed from. So where does the day start? Oh, that would have been a good one. So now today, it's almost like what Cramson said on his video yesterday. Today was a hectic day. I was in and out the house, and I was really moving. So, I didn't catch this. That's just on me. I didn't catch this. But let's look at it, because I always like to just. Okay, here. So. Yeah. Price. The only thing I don't like about this is look at where the TP is. The TP and the daily level is literally like a couple pips away from each other. Because if I'm looking at this, so technically, yeah, I wouldn't have entered on this. Because, okay, so that would have been all that, and then, it breaks this zone. I don't even know if you'd call this the break, because it's literally on the exact line. So maybe you call this one the break, and then you have that as your thing, as your you have that as your entry, and then your stop loss like there. This I would not have entered on this. I don't like it. I wouldn't have entered on this. Nah, I would have been looking to enter off this zone. That's something to practice more. So this is something that I'm gonna be doing, right? I'm not gonna do any live trades on this week. I'll do it next week. So gold and NAS 100, they move so fast and they're so volatile. I have to get a piece of that action there. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be back testing and front testing, or future testing, whatever it's called, the scalping method, which is basically everything that we do on the daily, but we're just doing that on the 1 hour and then entering off the 1 minute, right? So I did do a front or forward testing one for NAS, and that ended up hitting TP, which is this one here. And let me explain why I got into that. I'll be calling even these like these front testing ones. I'll call these out on my Telegram as well, which is where I call basically all the trades and stuff. But so basically what I was looking at was this. So boom. Yeah. So then I need to make a 1 hour caps 1 hour level. Yeah. And then you go down So forget about that. I knew when I don't know when I drew this, I had it in my head, and it did end up going to TP. Yeah, I got to TP. But yeah, anyway, what I'm trying to say is, moving forward, I'm gonna be testing the scalping method on gold and Nasdaq. So that was about it. Let me go back to our pairs here. Let's get out of this. Yeah, and then on the weekly, so on the weekly we got some interesting stuff happening here, on US CAD, and then also with Euro. Euro's been kind of, it hasn't, so it's bounced off this level here, but it didn't close. So it's closed here, and then it could potentially shoot up to let's put the TP to here. So that would be something to look at. I'll have a look at that. But that's it for now. So yeah, tomorrow we'll be back. If there's any trades that I take, I'll mention them on the Telegram. Link is in the description. If not, it's fine. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you caught any of these trades. If you're still holding the USD chef, I do think that will carry on pushing. But we'll see. But yeah, take care everyone, and God bless.